Let's start this. I can turn on, every other fucking camera is probably on around me right now. I'm probably on a fucking Truman Show, for all I know. I'm on some just really fucked up, really deep reality TV show. People are watching me right now. They're like just viewing the real. That's what reality TV is. That's why we love reality TV. The reason we like it is because it's actually an expose on our lives as they are. That's how we feel watching it. That's the fundamental kick about reality TV shows. The frisson of the real. Is the mic even... And then the mic wasn't next to my mouth. You couldn't even hear what I was saying. Okay. Not gonna basically everything in the fucking world tries to grab you away from your original plan until you're just dissipated into 100 million little tiny cubes, all going in opposite directions. You're just perfectly alienated from yourself. You just don't give a fuck about yourself. You're not all on one side. You're not like, let's get the troops together for yourself. You're not even doing that for yourself. Let's get the fucking troops together. Let's gather. Let's fucking put some effort into like exerting some fucking force on this video game that I've just been plonked in, that I was born into when I was coming out the womb, and I've been stuck in this head ever since then. You just came into a video game. You just got spawned in as a Sims, bro. And instead of being like, how does the video game work? Can I go over to that forest there? Is there a glitch if I do this, this, and this? Like, what are the limits of it? How tall can I build the building in Sims? You're just playing it, bro. You're just building. I don't know how Sims works, like, in depth enough for this analogy. You're spawned into the fucking video game and you're in Sims and you're just choosing to live like in the fucking, you're choosing to decorate your house really boringly in Sims, and you're choosing to just have like a wife and kids and just do like the normal storyline. Like, why the fuck would you do that instead of seeing how the video game itself works? So that's his idea of the medium is the message. The medium, the video game, is taken for granted. Yeah, I'm just like in Sims, I'm on this green field with like a sidewalk next to me, building my house, my 4x4 house, made out of like, you know, the same materials as all the ones next to it, and all the ones in 10 miles of it. And I'm just like choosing to have a wife like everyone else does. I'm just choosing to have kids like everyone else does. It's like good enough. Like, why would you just play the video game? That's clearly a video game that you've been plopped into, and you're just choosing to take it for granted. That's why everyone by default, when they're playing a video game, you would hope that part of them playing the video game is like being intelligent about it and testing the bounds of the video game and seeing how does the actual, like, you know, if that was your whole life, of course you would try and find the glitches. My only point is people are finding glitches in Mario 1960, whatever the fuck, right? Like, they've fucking got all the glitch speed. This is like common video game glitching, but they're not doing it with their own lives. So of course, if you were strapped into Mario, hell yeah, I'd find all the fucking glitches if I got strapped into Mario, bro. Like, fuck, get me out. Am I right? Get me out of the fucking DS. Get me out of the DS. Get me out of the fucking DS. Why would I just be in the DS, bro? Anything but the DS. But maybe I'm just a dickhead. I don't know with the mic anymore. It looks fine. This is what I originally wanted to do. To read some Cyclonopedia. It was a part that I liked. Like, pack of rats. Too much. Yeah? I'm recording myself right now. So I'm doing the reality TV thing. That's what I was screaming about when the mic was all the way over there. The whole point of reality TV is that it shines in a hyper resemblance to your own life. The kick that we actually get from reality TV, the frisson of the real, is... I can turn up the volume on that, I think, and put it back in. So anyway, we have all that. See, and it's like, would I put that? See, that's the whole thing. It's like, would I put that in? Would I put what I just did in the fucking video? It looks like I'm losing my mind on camera, but that's because I am. What I just did there was not intended to be put into this video, right? Oh, we have all that then, I'm going to cut that out. I earnestly believed that what I was saying was not going to make it into the final cut, but now it just did. Because I'm going to, now that I'm here, that was my past self, I'm going to construct it like so. I'm going to construct it like so. My past self was genuinely being earnest. But now, dickhead me, now me is going to fuck up my past self, who actually really meant it. But that's the thing, is like, you know, that's the whole thing, is you never know if you're on tape or not. Like, you need someone you can trust. You need like an environment you can trust, so that you don't always have to be like on edge about checking if you're on tape or not. But that's really hard in today's world. You're constantly surrounded by devices with microphones and cameras that know how to advertise to you really well. You know, but it's like kind of the stuff that you should be into shouldn't be advertisable. It shouldn't be able to be made advertising content. If the stuff that you're into has been advertised to you or could have been advertised to you, like if you're into a Prada bag or if you're into a fucking facelift or whatever, you then no longer know if you're on tape or if you're living, if you're alive. And the medium enters the real, and there's a endemic, chronic blending of the medium and the real. This nebula, like... And that's what's so great about reality TV, basically. It is showing you your life naked. Like, not your life naked, but like the video game of life. The reason reality TV works is because we're all playing the same video game, and so you get to watch someone else playing it as well. This is what people do all the time. I don't know if that's related. Possibly it is. You watch other people play fucking video games. Filming oneself is a very, very good way to toy and experiment with the way that reality works in today's world. And maybe it always has been a good way of doing that, but I think especially the way the world has gone as well. Like, we all grew up kind of just surrounded, inundated by media. The process of westernization, right? That's what I'm talking about. What does that mean? The process of westernization. When you read that in the news, you should literally read that one for one with the process of the spreading of the video game. What was that? See, it's just stuff going off. You wouldn't even know. Random, like, fucking orchestra hits in my reality. It feels like I'm on a fucking stage, bro. That's just the point. We're all on tape. I don't know what that sound was, and the best my brain can do is it was an orchestra hit because I'm on fucking TV. And I don't think people are better than me. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm pretty fucking paranoid. No further comments. Oh God. You turn into the image of yourself, and now I'm a fucking... I just see myself on the fucking top of Twitch, and I hate it. I hate it. And that's what it needs to be. That's what it needs to be. It's going to sound quite arrogant because I'm nowhere near the top of Twitch. But I would hate to be on the top of Twitch, man. I would hate to be on the front page of YouTube. I'd really fucking hate that. It should actually, like, give you the ick. You know, it should actually, like, nah, fuck that. Like, let me just do something completely different now. Right? But that's how everyone just, like, starts fucking vlogging in the same, and then there's just, like, oh, vloggers pop up as, like, vloggers, reality TV. That was our reality TV. I was wondering, you know, like, such an emphasis on reality TV, and he writes about it so beautifully, and it's so applicable to everything else, but, like, like, reality TV itself, did that really blow up? Like, no one's watching the Kim Kardashians. Bro, it's all the vloggers on YouTube. It's all like, you know, that's where it went. Okay, great. The David Dobrik effect. I don't even know. That's probably like something else. That's probably actually something in pop culture. The David Dobrik effect. But like the effect of vlogging, they're playing the video game. They're playing the video game for you. And it's like playing the video game for you. And then they actually start playing video games for you. You can fucking, this is the thing. This is the thing. I think you have to get to a certain level where someone can watch this and they can think you're a fucking so schizo, so paranoid, like just off your nut, right? And all I have to do to then make sure that I'm on solid ground again for myself and prove to myself that it doesn't even matter if I'm that off my nut, like it is a state of emergency anyway. Like, bro, go outside. Go outside. Like, sit on the tube and actually look around for the entire tube journey. And then walk around bank to your office for the entire time. Like, no music, not looking at your phone, just looking around at people. Like, what else are you gonna do while you're walking, bro? You're like, you start being, should we chat? Like, where are you rushing to? You know, you start getting like that. It's like, where are you rushing to, bro? To type numbers into a spreadsheet all fucking day. So I just have to say, look outside. Look at your friends, right? Look at the people on the tube. Look at your contemporaries, your peers. Just go outside. It's not like, oh yeah, it's shit. And if you're going to deny that, then fuck you. So yeah, fuck you. I'm schizo right now. I don't fucking care. You know, it is, at a certain point, it's going to get cringe. At a certain point, it's going to get cringe for someone. Ooh, I'm going to do whatever I want in this little art project of mine. This is my art now, driving myself insane via the camera. You can't do anything about it. Fuck you. I can't do it with a normal person. I can't be insane in front of a normal person. Fuck you. I always have to play the video game in front of a normal person, right? We all always have to play the video game in front of the peers of our time. And throughout human history, that's been other human beings. And previously other animals, but they're no longer our peers. We hold them in contempt. It feels like the cutting edge. The cutting edge is defined by you, right? That's the entire point. As soon as it's defined by anything else outside of you, it counts as advertising. That's what a simulacra is. So, very simple fucking idea. Are you doing what you're doing because you were advertised it, either by someone you know, like an older brother, or like a peer that you like actually really hold in high regard? Like someone, or your father, right? Someone you hold in high regard, and you just copying them. It's so simple. It's really simple. Are you copying what your dad does? Are you copying what your peers do? Are you copying, or are you attaching your own meaning to it? This is the difference between a simulacra and an original. People think original, and they're like, oh, there's this one original out there. No. Whenever you do continental philosophy, you think about things from the perspective of the person, always. I know it's really easy to think about it because we've all been brought up with this Newtonian, like, oh, there's force, it's all out there, it's all physical. I know what I'm talking about. No, you do it from your brain. There is only your head. And that is true. That's the only thing that's true. Everything else is ideas. There's only your head. So we're always doing it from your perspective. Each person has their own original, but there's only one type of original anyway. But each person has their own complete original, like, meaning, their ability for something to mean something to them. Their ability for something to mean something to them, like their meaning meter. How much, like, some people are capped at 50. Nothing can mean anything to them, like, at most 50. That's it. That's all you have. Most people are capped at 10% meaning because they're walking around bank, working 12 hours a day, putting numbers into spreadsheets. Doesn't mean very much to them. So that, but they're capping themselves at that. So these motherfuckers have landed into the video game and decided to have a shit life. Like, genuinely just selected it. Because you know the way you don't have a shit life? You just don't do that. You just never land in the video game. Never fucking land in the video. Never let them put you in the video game. It doesn't matter if you spend your life babbling about shit. And one man's shit is another man's gold. However the fuck that goes. Yeah? One man's shit is another man's gold. Okay, your Quran, bro. Okay, I don't want to fucking get blown up. I don't want to get blown up. Leave the Quran aside. Alhamdulillah with the Quran. Alhamdulillah with the Quran. I'm gonna cut out the fucking Quran shit, bro. I'm not lying. Or am I? Whoa! Woo! Woo! See, because it's so we can always take it back to this. We can always take it back. That's why it's so good. That's why this is so good. Because it's the effect that we grew up with, to come around to what I was actually going to say, right? So we were all inundated with this media. And now you get to play with that effect. Like, you've always had this really weird thing of like feeling seen through all the, because of all the media you watched, you felt seen yourself and you felt like you were on tape yourself, right? Now you finally get to reverse it and like play with it yourself instead of someone else always fucking around with it. That's the best way I can put it. You know how you know Wikipedia is not about bullshit? You click on any article, then you click the first hyperlink in the article text. If you do that enough times, they all end up like being at philosophy. It's a ground state. Because philosophy is just questioning the video game. And that's what all of knowledge is. All of knowledge is just questioning different types of video game. Philosophy is the one that questions the video game itself. So it's self-propelling. You just start spiraling upwards. It's a positive sum game, right? Physics was traditionally testing the physical video game. This very specific video game called the physical video game. Kind of a big one, seemingly, but it's like kind of weird to focus on that one. And then you came up with forces and particles and stuff. Now physics has come for all of reality. And now you have the quantum physicists explaining how everything functions and the neurobiologists tightly interwoven with them. And together quantum theory tells us exactly how consciousness will work. And there'll be a grand uniting of one theory of everything. And they're getting fucking close. They're getting close, but it's impossible to get there. It's impossible to do that. There is no such thing as one grand theory. So why have you suddenly started studying your rock, which we're meant to be using to, like, maybe that was a shit level of human society. I'm not saying we have to go back to caveman times or tribal times. This slips in, and it doesn't do us any good. You know, anarcho-primitivism. No, drop the primitive. Fuck no. Yeah, okay, shoot the data centers and then let's have an extremely thought out, well-engineered plan, which all of you people are capable of, for what we're going to do next to test the video game. How fucking cool would that be? No, let's not cut off power straight away. Why is Freemasonry, for someone like me, who grew up like me, or any of you probably watching, not a good myth? Because it's a myth in our myth. We can clearly tell that. Like, as far as we know, Freemasonry is not a useful way to talk about our reality, right? At least for people like you and me, for most people. It doesn't mean a whole lot. They started off stone cutting and they're like, what? It's like, what, you're trying to say like all the architecture in Oxford was built? Okay, great. Like, I don't, you know, we're no longer praying in churches and we need to worry about like the architecture of them being Freemasonic or not, basically. But this guy, you know, he goes around London doing that. But he's interesting. I'll give him that. He's just paranoid. He's being paranoid. And this is mentioned in this book. Paranoid. And then he can be a little bit schizophrenic with it. So you can be paranoid and sat there fucking shivering in the corner. That's like the most paranoid you can be. Or you can be paranoid, but like still fucking plug in a camera and record yourself. Or like still just fucking read the book. You don't have this constant anxiety. Most people today have that constant anxiety. That's what a neurotic is. And most people, especially women, especially girls, our age, just always anxious. But everyone is. And I was slightly more feminine, like in terms of my personality, So I felt like the, permanent fucking background anxiety that you get a lot more. You have to be able to balance the two. Otherwise, you'll just be paranoid, fucking shivering in the corner. And being schizophrenic is that like vital energy where it's almost the opposite of sitting in a corner and shivering. It's crackheading out on the street. But you can crackhead out in such a way that, no, it's not like a nitty who's like unwashed and peeing on you. It can be like a weird crackhead who's like deciding to film themselves or whatever. So, in this sense, all crazy people simulate is a line, and this for us is the worst subversion. It's important to understand that manipulation and simulation, you can never tell apart simulation and representation. It's a perfect copy. What does it mean to have a perfect copy of something? Because it's not the original, the forgery. He really copied him well. A perfect copy of your representation is not the thing you started with. In the same way that a forgery is not the thing that you started with. Art travels back in time. The artist starts with something. They then write down some words. So if you're focused on doing the forgery, you're focused on the way the artwork looks instead of the thing that motivated the artwork. And suddenly, Guernica by Pablo Picasso doesn't become a commentary on fascism in Spain. Instead, it becomes a Pablo Picasso painting in this museum, in this international city. It becomes part of your tourism holiday. It becomes advertised to you. Why? Because it becomes about the image of Guernica itself and the label of Guernica and the label and image of Pablo Picasso. It becomes part of advertising. What can't be advertised to you is what it actually referred to. That's impossible to advertise. You have to look at it and construe. You have to go back in time with the artist and get to what they meant. They're taking you back in time. This is what it was. And they're starting you... In Zen, there's a concept of the beginner's mind. They're starting you from square one again. And asking you to look at the world fresh. How do you feel when you see this? And this is a reflection of something going on in the world. Something topical going on in the world. But instead we just have the representations floating. And so they're free to simulate. Like they become... By crossing into a space whose curvature is no longer that of the real, nor that of truth, the era of simulation is inaugurated by a liquidation of all referentials. Worse, with their artificial resurrection in the system of signs, a material more malleable than meaning, in that it lends itself to all systems of equivalences, to all binary oppositions, to all combinatory algebra. The system of advertising, and not just adverts on the side of a bus. Everything in your life becomes advertising. It's no longer a question of imitation, nor duplication, nor even parody, nor forgeries, nor perfect copies. It is a question of substituting the signs, the images, the visual components of the real for the real. That is to say, of an operation of deterring every real process via its operational double. a programmatic, metastable, not really stable, artificially stable, perfectly descriptive machine that offers all the signs of the real, yet short circuits all its vicissitudes, all its many subtleties and differences. So you go to an art gallery today and you go look at the art, and maybe you take a photo and maybe you post it on your Instagram, and you're carrying out all the signs of the real of someone who's into art. You're doing the equivalent of being into art for the 21st century. That's fine. Except all those people doing that no longer actually believe in it. In every other period, in a lot of other periods, this process didn't happen so hegemonically, so dominantly, this process of simulation. In another era, whatever a art aficionado is doing, they've got a notepad instead of a phone, and they don't have Instagram. But none of what they're doing anyway turns into an aesthetic. They're genuinely into the art. And this notebook will help them understand the artwork and what it's referring to. But today, we just look at the artwork. The eyes just stare and stare. They look, but they don't see. They just stare and stare. They look, but they don't see. We look, but we don't see in the art gallery. Then we take a photo of it for our phones. Our phone then sees, and our phone is the alibi. Our phone is the evidence. Our phone is the evidence that reality is still happening. And you post it and you get comments and you feel like you're an art aficionado. Simulation induces the effects of the last thing, of the actual thing that would correspond to what you're doing. Simulating being an art aficionado, pretending to really be into art in the 21st century, gives you kind of some similar feelings as maybe someone used to back in the day. But it's something entirely, it has no actual original. Like, you're not doing it for the reasons that the other people were doing it, and then they got to feel a certain type of way. Like, you're left with just the arrogance, just the aesthetic. The whole point of, like, people being arrogant or, like, thinking they're sick because they dress a certain way or they do certain things is because they genuinely think they're sick, because they are genuinely doing something that, like, they're original, that has meaning to them. So it's like, yeah, it has meaning to me. I'm fucking sick. Now we're just left with the I'm sick. It has no meaning to me. I'm just sick. Let me post this on my Instagram. Oh yeah, I'll be so fucking... You're just left with the arrogance, and you're not doing any of life anymore. And capital's just letting you simulate the arrogance, or it's simulating it for you. Or, like, that's what it's left you with. You're not allowed to do anything actually anymore and have anything actually arouse passion in you and have meaning to you. You're not allowed that anymore. But we'll let you simulate things that look similar to it and give you all the arrogance with none of the actual point of it. Never again will the real have the chance to produce itself. Such is the vital function of the model in a system of death, or rather, of anticipated resurrection, that no longer even gives the event of death a chance. We're all expecting it to get better. We know it's just winding us down, but we're all just like, anticipating resurrection. Our hyperreal henceforth sheltered from the imaginary and from any distinction between the real and the imaginary, leaving room only for the orbital recurrence of models and for the simulated generation of differences. Stop doing your life and start doing life. The fact that there's even such a thing as your life means that it's a copy. It's already been labeled. Oh. Okay, so the moment you label something, it disappears. The moment I say your life, does that necessarily mean that I'm, like, dissolving your reality? No. But it's getting closer to that point. We're already at that point. You have an idea, and it's advertised, this idea, of what your life is going to look like. Because they've sucked all the randomness and all the originality out of the landscape around you. And now there's just like only so many life paths. And they're all really fucking similar. Like, you can't really go and become a monk anymore. We're dealing with it. We're in the midst of dealing with it. Cool. That's fine. Doesn't have to be depressing. But start dealing with it. And this is why you have people dealing with it all the fucking time. That's what anti-vax is, bro. It's people dealing with it. It's the masses revolting. I'm ashamed to not have been part of the revolt of the anti-vaxxers. No one probably fucking believes it. Like, really? It's just like, fuck off. It's more of an attitude of like, fuck off. And fuck all the people who don't understand the attitude with which I'm saying fuck off. That's what anti-vax was. I think in a large way. Maybe, and then you had people making it more and more real for themselves. And doing like actual fucking research, right? And getting into it. Without understanding that it's just a mechanism, right? It's just, you just align yourself with what's contrary. Like, you know, that's what Nick Land does. You just align yourself with what is contrarian to say, yeah, fuck no, get off my back. Like, I can do this. And they give you a little bit of that. They give you, my salary is, if you're actually willing to do that, bro, this is the thing. If you're actually willing to do that, yeah, capitalism ends up being pretty fucking good. Do you know why? Because you're the only student who's starting to fucking chirp up in a class of 100. So what it does is it makes your video game really fucking good. In a class of these hundreds of students, you know, strapped into the matrix, capital's all simulating for them at the same time, kind of roughly the same thing. And then there's this one guy who's not really working on. He starts fucking questioning it. Oh, you have to make it a bit harder. You have to make it a little bit fucking harder. It puts a bit more effort into your compute. That's the best we can fucking do. Fine. But it does, hey? It lays out the red carpet for me, capital. Because it would rather do that than the alternative. Like, it would be more effort putting me in jail. That's like more risky than just like giving me enough of a salary to have like an okay flat and like a nice camera. And like the ability to buy books and like a remote job. And it's so obvious. It's so obvious that it's just one big evil screenwriter just like giving you your choice of jobs. And you need to think of this not on the level of company. That's so, you know, it's beyond companies. These have all been consolidated. It's the entire economy. It's the entire like economy working as one unified animal. The stratification of job types. Oh, what do you do? I'm a remote worker. What do you do? Oh, I'm a remote worker. Something you might hear back. And you identify yourself based on your job stratification layer. Oh, I'm a contract worker. Oh, I'm a contractor. Oh, I'm a consultant. Consultancy is just everything. Consultancy and freelance and self-employed, they're identifying themselves based on their job type. And you consume your job as if you consume a lifestyle. And the red carpet doesn't mean an extra 50k in your bank account, you dumb motherfucker. This is basically the entire fucking point. Stratify at the right level. It's clearly not more advantageous to work 14 hours a day for 50k more in your bank account, having a much more meaningless job than like having a remote job. Okay, maybe it's really bullshit, but it's very remote. Or maybe it's less remote and it's less bullshit. But like, clearly those types of jobs are way better than the upper strata that we're seeing. These jobs where like investment banking, these people working themselves so hard, just like wrecks of people. But they're making like a lot of money. But it's like such long hours, like till 10 p.m. And then they're like, you know, obviously that's not the winning strategy. But it's literally like, how hard are you going to fucking fuss? That's all I'm trying to say. How much of a fuss are you going to kick up? Just kick up a bit of a fuss. People like me. It kind of works. I don't know. It literally felt like I came out of uni. Capital rolled out like quite a nice red carpet for me. And you go to Goldman Sachs and it's a really nice building. And they have like drinks there in your induction day. And like, it's just a really nice building. The offices are really like expansive. It's just like very calm atmosphere. Like, you know, very, you just like have to sit there and do nothing all day and you'll like get along. Like look like you're doing something at least. Look like you're doing something at least, but it's been like made really nice actually. And I fucking kicked and squealed because I was focusing on the content of it instead of the medium of it. It feels like a piercing laser. He says that. Reality pierced by this laser. Lasers just piercing your reality. Like weighing down on you. There's now this thing you've got to think about that's watching you. And then you just always feel like that. You just always feel like that. There's always this thing that's watching me that I'm always kind of aware of. And it's not one thing, obviously, that would be too obvious and people would start complaining. But it's like, there's like police officers at stations and like they're scanning my fingers and taking photos of me to go to Europe. And like, the Netherlands is a police state straight up.